Hello, welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today I got a real question for Xbox fans. So if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. Now, I want to ask you guys a real question, and I want you guys to answer in the comment section how you really honestly feel about this. After I heard today that there is potentially that there's a potential that PlayStation has secured the rights for Silent Hill, Metal Gear Solid, as well as Castlevania to be exclusive to the PlayStation 5 platform, I want to know how you guys would feel. Should Xbox go after these third-party companies and get exclusive games? And and would you be willing to pay full price to support these type of transactions? Because I don't know. I mean, like some of them would possibly be okay and sustainable to be able to throw right into Game Pass. But if you're talking about big games, big third-party developers like AAA third-party developers bringing actual third-party AAA games to the Xbox platform exclusive, we're gonna have to pay full price for those guys. Like that's just not sustainable. Microsoft. So to say say they did something like that, like something like a Metal Gear remake or a new Castlevania game um like Silent Hill. Those games are going to do fairly well, but they're going to be within the realm of, anywhere from 2 to 5 million copies sold. So that kind of makes sense for PlayStation to go after titles like that. And they do have, like home field um seniority, due to the fact that Konami is also a Japanese publisher as well. So it kind of makes sense for PlayStation to go after those nostalgic games for older gamers like me that that grew up on Castlevania and Metal Gear and Silent Hill. But for the newer guys, the newer generation of gamers that haven't had one of those types of games since, like, what was the last one? Like the 360 generation for Silent Hill. Metal Gear came out on Xbox One and PS4, but then Castlevania was 360. PS3 generation was the last one for those, with like Lords of the Shadow 1 and 2. So I mean, like, some of those games like coming back for me is like, oh yeah, definitely. And that makes me happy that I bought a PlayStation 5. To be completely honest with you, I'm happy that I have a PlayStation 5, so I will have access to those games when they come out. But does that make sense in your guys' eyes, or have we as Xbox gamers, have we become so dependent on something like Game Pass? Essentially what I'm saying is, would would it be would a game like that even survive on Xbox anymore, my friends? Like, could Xbox secure third party exclusive rights and have us still pay for them without them going into Game Pass? Have we would we stand up as a community and support that type of behavior this generation, due to the fact that the Xbox, really hasn't produced like a steady offering of the kind of games that we think we want on the Xbox platform. Because I mean, when I listen to people in the community, they are always quick to say that, man, like, Xbox isn't doing this or isn't doing that, and it's like, man, Xbox has been releasing games. We just got Minecraft Legends, we just got Redfall, we just got some of these games, but they're not. So I guess because they're not hitting that level of quality that PlayStation games are hitting, we're all of a sudden not getting anything on our platform, and that's pretty disingenuous, my friends. That is pretty disingenuous. When if you look at it that way, you have to kind of have to understand the bigger picture. Uh, I mean, is Xbox asking too much for us to understand the bigger picture? I mean, seriously, are they asking too much and being like, hey guys, we've already basically secured third place in the console market. Like, that's ours. We own that. It's ours. We're just going to do what we can to fulfill that to the best of our ability. We're going to fulfill that to the best of our ability. if we can put out, I mean, to me, it kind of feels like they're trying to like, they're not trying to, like really run out there and challenge anything right now, because I mean, like, that doesn't make sense. If they know games, if they know their heavy hitter games are a few years out still, does that make sense to be out there trying to push like, yeah, man, you're gonna get? No, right now the best way forward for Xbox is to 100% stick to the Game Pass offering. That right now, in the here and now, in the short term, is 100% more important for them to market and expand Game Pass than it is to try to go after Nintendo or PlayStation. Those guys have a commanding leadership lead when it comes to comes to the console sales. They do. So the best bet that Microsoft has to grow this platform this generation is to go after the Game Pass market, to go after the budget gamer. And that makes sense to me. Like, it makes sense to me when I stop and I think about where Xbox is and where Xbox has been. That is the best way forward for Xbox to gain any kind of ground when it comes to the console market. And you have to trust, you kind of have to trust how that's going to work. If you're a budget gamer and you're seeing the Xbox Series S and it's still playing games like, Call of Duty or FIFA or some of these other games that you can get on the PlayStation 5, you're thinking to yourself, you're like, dang, man, and I can get Game Pass and I can get this and I can get that. And that's money well spent if you're a budget gamer. Like, if you don't have the $500 to run out and get a PS5 and then buy the games $70 on top of that, like, Xbox is in an interesting position to where they can fly under the radar and kind of grow the platform and grow the user base for Game Pass and be able to grow that income so that they can 100% turn around and invest that right back into making these premium games that we want as an Xbox community. Now, I'm with you guys. I'm with you to a certain extent. I was just playing some Forza Horizon 5 today. I was sitting there, I was playing this game, and I was like, my gosh, man, this thing is incredible. The visuals look incredible. The performance is on point. And I'm just thinking to myself, and I was sitting there visualizing like, wow, dude, Fable is going to be beautiful. It's going to be a beautiful game when that comes out. And then I was sitting here and I'm playing Peak 53 on the PC, and it's running in Unreal Engine 5, and I'm looking at just how much better just the textures look in that game, just from a point of view that, like, it's being developed by an indie team and they're using Unreal Engine 5, and just the way this game looks is simply incredible. And so when I think of a heavy hitting team like the Coalition that is well versed in the epic in like Unreal Engine 5, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, that game is going to be beautiful when Gears 6 comes out. Like, it is going to blow the freaking doors off a lot of things, and it's going to be well optimized. It's going to be good to play. I just, I mean, like, they even had the Coalition helping with the Matrix demo, and that came out and like blew a lot of us away. We were like stunned. We had lots of traffic. You had lots of pedestrians. You have a bunch of different types of quality visuals and textures and material types, the way the lumen works in there, the way the nanite works. Like, that is incredible, guys. Like, what we are going to get on the Xbox platform is going to be great, but it is going to take a little bit of time. So that's why I circle back to this whole thing that I'm hearing a lot of Xbox, guys trying to demand that the Xbox go after third-party AAA exclusive games. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, so let's do the math on this. If some of these games are going to sell from 5 to 10 million copies, what does Microsoft have to pay for the rights for that game to be exclusive and to go into Game Pass? Because I kind of feel like that's our expectation as Xbox gamers. If it's going to be exclusive to Xbox, it's going to be exclusive to Game Pass. So that puts a lot more stress on Game Pass having to move those particular titles and still be able to recoup the money that they would have to pay out to get that game into Game Pass, that, my friends, is literally unsustainable. Literally unsustainable. It's far more beneficial for the Xbox first party teams to build these games out. Now, I'm right with you. If you think that Xbox should go out and pick up, more studios, just like, hey man, we're gonna buy you, we're gonna buy you, we're gonna buy you. That is a more beneficial profit margin for Xbox to do that. But with this whole thing with Activision, with their hands tied up with the Activision deal, I don't think that I do kind of think they should probably just cut ties with the Activision thing. Just wash their hands with it, let it be done. But I mean, at the end of the day, that Activision brand being part of Xbox would significantly boost the Xbox platform to a point where it wouldn't be as easy of a choice anymore to be like, yeah, man, I'm going to PlayStation or Xbox. It would definitely give people a pause to like, wow, dude, should I buy, which one should I buy? Now, we've all seen what Xbox, Game Pass can do. Like we've seen the magic of, how it makes us feel when they put a title in there that we're like, whoa, man, that's cool. Like we've seen that magic. We've seen the magic of, being able to play multiple games for a very low cost of entry, and that's incredible. That does sell, my friends. That does sell. That does entice people to join the Xbox platform, whether you like it or not. PlayStation guys, they're more likely to purchase into the Xbox platform because of Game Pass. So yeah, if they own a PS5, they're just as likely to pick up an Xbox as well. What we need to do as a community is be proud of Xbox for what it is doing, for how it is going to be changing and expanding the future of video games to a lot more people. Now, I do think that there's some work to be done. Like I do. I do think that the next, I would like to see Hellblade come out this year. I would like to see that. I want Forza to come out, and I also want the Starfield to come out and do good. But I'm keeping my thoughts realistic about Starfield at least. Hellblade 2, Hellblade 2 is a different story. I do expect that to be a hard-hitting AAA experience. I do. I've seen Ninja Theory make some incredible games. The Devil May Cry that they made is 100% a AAA game. Very good, very, very fun. So when they bring Hellblade 2 to the market, I have I have a lot of optimism about how good that game is going to do. Me personally, I'm just a little bit more worried about, is it going to play corridor or is it going to be a semi-open world? I mean, if it's semi-open world like God of War, I think that will be all right. But if it's corridor like the first game, to me, that's a wasted opportunity, man. We literally just had Plague Tale Requiem. That is a waste of opportunity, if you ask me, because it's essentially going to be something like that. Like, yeah, it'll have the flashy visuals, and I guess that, I mean, I guess you could be okay with that if you need to, but I kind of want them to expand on that. Have more of a combat options. Um, I do have high hopes for Hellblade 2, but I don't know if the vision of that game. We need to know more about it. We need to know more about it. And then when you also think about, Forza Motorsport having a 5-year dev time for this game, that one there needs to come out, and it needs to have solid um, wheel support. It needs to have really good physics, because if you get behind the wheel of Assetto Corsa Competizione now on PC with that 1.9 update, literally incredible, man. It feels incredible. So I need Forza Motorsport to compete physics wise. The visuals are already fine. Like the visuals of Forza 7 were already fine. They're definitely better than what, as good or better than what Assetto Corsa right now has. So I don't necessarily, that's not the big problem for me. The problem now is this needs to feel good, because Gran Turismo 7 feels like, yeah, that is some very, very terrible, very terrible force feedback and physics model for Gran Turismo. So I need Forza to be a leader in physics when it comes back later this year. In terms of Starfield, my friends, is going to, I think it's going to meet the same fate as Redfall, and you need to understand why. That game does share a lot of similarities with No Man's Sky. Like, it does. There's no getting around that. It does share a lot of similarities with No Man's Sky. The only difference is it looks more realistic. So that right there is already something that's like, yeah, dude, I want to play this. And not only that, but it does have an actual curated story that's going to get you from beat to beat to beat, and help you enjoy and experience the world of Starfield. Now, I can already tell you guys, like, I can already feel that the negativity is going to crank up really high around that game, and it's just going to. You're going to have potentially Spider-Man launching at the same time, so there's going to be a lot of pressure from the Xbox community on Starfield to perform well, and there's going to be a lot of pushback from the other people when it comes to like this nonsensical console war. It's like, why can't you just enjoy both, man? Realize that both games are there to do something completely different, and just appreciate both of them. I'm going to appreciate both of them. I'm going to buy Spider-Man 2. I'm going to buy freaking Starfield. I'm going to buy Starfield. I'm not going to rent it. I'm going to buy Starfield. And I'm going to play both of those games. So I would really like to get the answers to the questions that I had in the beginning of this video. I want to know how you would feel. Would you be willing to pay $70 for third-party exclusive games to come to Xbox? Because they can't subsidize that, guys. I don't think that, with all the trillions of dollars that Microsoft has, I do not think they could subsidize multiple third-party AAA games for Xbox users. I don't think that's possible, man. I just don't. The numbers just don't line up. They don't line up. So if that's something you guys are willing to do, then maybe, we should, petition Xbox to see if that's something they could do. Maybe get out there and get some of that. But I would really hate to see Microsoft push for that old school way of thinking, as opposed to just 100% nurturing and developing the studios that they already have. I would much rather that money go to there, so that we can have a consistent future of Xbox first party titles. Let me know what you guys think, man. I'm really curious about this. I've been thinking about this since I've been hearing a lot of people talking about this, and yeah, dude, it's one of those things that, like, I want to know how people feel about this. I mean, yeah. So if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe, man. We'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.